Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 23, Week 9. So today, of course, we're going to be going through Brown Doom mostly. A lot of Brown Doom to get through. Probably use up every sigil we have, of course. I believe we're already scouted all the way to where we need to be. That's not where it is. But, yeah, the main 3 things we have this week is Tower of Doom, going on throughout the entire week with a new weapon that's pretty relevant, but, you know, still for completionist sake, and you have to use it for the event. Can still kind of do a one-shot, but beyond that, not really too relevant of a weapon going forward, but still need it for double points this season, or, you know, for this week. Beyond that, Bounty Hunter, of course, is Friday. Quick event, either do the free ones or do the, like, about 7-10 gems to go get full completion. Ends up being pretty quick. And of course, the other thing is prepping for next Guild War. Next Guild War is a dwarf restriction, and almost the entirety of the event key drop table right now is dwarves, most notably the 50% mana start dwarf, as well as a lot of really good utility dwarves. And the other thing is, of course, the new mythic, still available for the next 4 days, today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, all the way till Friday reset time. So if you're still looking to get the mythic that we covered a video on last Friday, he's still available. Not the greatest of things, but depending on what your options are, he might be usable for the next Guild War. Even though he's from Adana and is a mech, he is a dwarf, so he does still count for the next PvP or Guild War restriction. He does have double summon, which is nice, though his ability is pretty lackluster as far as damage, with absolutely no follow-up. But yeah, he's still in drop table for next few days, or more so. Don't open up your Glory Gem Guild or VIP chest if you want to go and not get them, and wait until at least Friday before you start opening them again. But anyways, let's go start with Guild War. What do we have for our initial? Oh gosh, it's gonna be so free. I forgot. Yeah, every Tower of Doom is so free because you could just run either Stellarix or what's it called, and just auto win. Stellarix or gosh, I can never get this name. Chrysathernax, the Flower Dragon. Also, for these earlier fights, I'm gonna put it a little bit more forward. The reason for this is to make sure it doesn't die. But we're going to have it like this for most battles, or for the earlier battles, so we can go through them quicker. But once we get to the point where we have any chance of dying, we do want to go switch hero back to first to go and tank for it. The main reason we're using mech is, aside from 50% mana start, so it doesn't block as much when it is in front of it, we're using it mostly for Dispel. Today, or this week and next week, we still have to deal with Submerged Gems. Next week is the final week that we'll have to deal with Submerged Gems, so good idea to have counter to that. So for that, we're running 50% mana start with Banishment, and it should end up working out pretty nicely for this. Anyways, hello everyone! Let me go with all the hellos. Hello Isabel! Welcome, welcome. Let's see, where is it? Why is it not letting me scroll? 1 second. It's not letting me... Why is it not going? There it goes. That was weird. Oh, I am in a thunderstorm right now, by the way, so if we randomly lose connection, yeah, that's why. Hopefully we don't. But if we do randomly leave out of nowhere, that is why. Anyways, hello Bill Warhammer, hello Imperial, hello Isabel. And as Isabel mentioned, we do still need 1 member. So if you guys want to join us for Guild War next week, we do still have 1 spot remaining. Hello Imperial, hello Tyrion, hello Chad, hello Imperial, hello Cookie, hello Stacy, hello Vanessa too, hello Mulu, hello everyone else. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know, I ended up saying Guild War instead of, well, because I was talking about Guild War, so Guild War was on the mind. Yeah, Guild War is next week. All the prep for Guild War is this week, though, as far as getting all the options you need. Something we didn't actually have as an option last time around, or either the 2 times around. And it's something I hope they do going forward, is, you know, allowing at least 1 week where you can get some of the good stuff for the upcoming Guild War event. Because the other one that we had, or the other 2, we had pretty much no way of getting it. Like, if you didn't have the good options, you just could not get them. But now you can. This is also interesting in that this is the first Guild War you can run any weapon. Because the first Guild War was Broken Spire, the second Guild War was Divining Fields, which of course are both a kingdom. But this time it's a restriction of Dwarf. So similar to any restriction like that, you should be allowed to use absolutely any weapon in the entire game. Which makes it the first Guild War since this new format that allows any weapon. The most noteworthy ones of this is Wand of Stars. Even though you can't use it defensively, it does not get replaced, or shouldn't, when you use it offensively. And because of that, yeah, Wand of Stars is pretty decent. The other one that's pretty good is Essence of Evil. Ends up denying out whatever the biggest thing is on the opposing team, which was really popular in the previous set of Guild War as well. Rope Dart can also be good, especially if you're going a more skull-oriented team, as you can armor tier, entangle, and drag whatever you want. That is the biggest threat up to first slot, assuming it's not stealthied. And beyond that, I don't know, pretty noteworthy weapons. I guess if you want to run like a damaging weapon, you could also do that. Normally you're going to have enough damage, but if you happen to not have enough damage, you can offset it with a weapon. Like Black Manacle, Dawnbringer, whatever you want to run. Or even the Ruby weapon and stuff like that. For the most part, you should have enough damage though. Wand of Stars and Zest of Evil is normally going to be more value. But if you truly have no damage source, yeah, you can offset with a weapon. These honestly dwarves do have quite a bit of mana accumulation. It's really brown heavy though. So if you're going a weapon, it's probably Black Manacle or Ruby weapon. Hello Maximus, what is this EXP thing? I have no clue. It's some kind of new thing that YouTube added to try to engagement farm. They must want better statistics or something. But yeah, it's I have no clue how it works. All I know is that generally when people chat more, it gives them more EXP in chat. What is that EXP used for? I have no clue. I guess some in-chat leaderboard per stream. It keeps getting reset every stream, so I have no clue. But yeah, some feature YouTube added like a week ago. Not the slightest clue what it is. But it seems to be based on whoever chats the most, from what I could tell. YouTube loves their engagement. Oh yeah, there's something else we need to go do today too. I want to go get 30-star Blackhawk. Also, we have a lot less than I thought we would have by the end of the event. But we should still be able to scrap together 30-star Blackhawk. I'll do that as soon as we finish out Doom. Actually, let me go hand out a code. And then we'll go hand out... oh wait, that's my calculator. Where's my code section? There it is. Here you guys go. Here is the redeem code. Enjoy. We'll have a few more to... Oh yeah! We're going to hand out the special code today. Wait, let me go open Discord. Wait. I said earlier I would hand out the big code today. Wait. Let me go open up Discord because I don't have them in my copy-paste yet. Give me a moment. I'm not going to hand it out right now, but I do want to get in my copy-paste, so when we do hand it out, we're good to go. Where on earth is... trying to find it. How many people have messaged me recently? I can't even find Jetto. Jetto, there she is. Jetto. Copy. Copy. Paste. Paste. Copy. Alright, we're good. Anyways, where were we? But we'll hand out the special code soon. We'll do it when we go do 30-star Blackhawk. How about that? We'll hand out the big code, the pet code. I believe it's for Sharky Pet. For the International Shark Day, even though it's nowhere near this time. Oh yeah, let me go and get rid of Discord as well. 1 second. Oh, you guys can't even see that interface, can you? Interesting. I had a thing pop up that's on the overlay. But for whatever reason, because it's not Steam overlay, it didn't actually show. That's kind of funny. Alright, quit Discord. Alright, there we go. Alright, I think we're all set up now. Anyways, what we're doing? Doom. Back to Doom. But yeah, we'll go hand out the special pick code when we go do 30-star Blackhawk. Which we've been working towards pretty much all last weekend. All last Vault weekend. You love that so much. Copy, paste. I don't know. Does anyone else do that? When you're about to copy something with the, Control-C function, do you ever do it multiple times just to make sure it goes through? Because I used to only do it once, but so many times I would misclick it in some way that it wouldn't go through. So now whenever I copy-paste, obviously I don't paste multiple times, but whenever I copy 2, 3, 4 times just to make sure the input goes through. Just in case it drops when the inputs or I type it slightly incorrectly. That's hello Outlander! Hello Chad! Welcome. Alright, that should be the only one we need. By about the 10th or 15th battle, we'll probably move Chrysathanax back one slot. But for these earlier fights, yeah, might as well have Hero not blocking it. It's only blocking 9 brown, but that's still more than nothing. That's hello Lester! Yep, we still play Gems of War every week. Actually, last week we were pretty much playing it every day. Well, you know, on stream. We always play it every day. I just don't stream it every day these days. Obviously, we do the dailies and everything every day. I don't know, this event's pretty uneventful overall, or this week. Like, aside from Tower of Doom today, the only other thing we have is Bounty Hunter. But full completion of Bounty Hunter takes like 30 minutes with Flower Dragon or Stellarix. It is really, really, really quick. What happened to the daily Brighter Shores stream? I do plan to do it again once they add more content. The main thing that kind of demotivated me is the way that they kind of reworked combat was pretty bad. So I've been waiting for them to fully implement the second part of the combat rework or release Chapter 5. Because so far I've just been streaming it when they add new quests, which I think next week they'll probably be adding a new one. But yeah, we'll be doing it some time again daily. I'm just kind of waiting for more content to hit the game. And some of the changes that they made recently just kind of put the game in a weird state. Player base for the game also has fallen off like so much. But, not that I mind that too much. But like right now it probably has like 300 people playing. Like total. Like our stream would be like 10% of the player base. There are that few people playing right now. Let's see. 8, there we go. 4. Hello, I71. Welcome, welcome. Did you get the new Prisoner Luther? Yes, he came into drop table a couple weeks ago. He came in the most recent patch of 8.5, the week afterwards. So not exactly when the patch hit, but the week after the patch hit. Yeah, he was added to drop table. Say, if you open Glory Gym Guild and VIP chest right now, he is in there. He doesn't really do much, though. You get him, I think, by your third battle in the new tutorial system they added. As they've reworked the tutorial for, like, the billionth time. But yeah, he's one of the new troops that new players get pretty much immediately. But yeah, he is in drop table. If you already have the Mythic, though, you might want to wait a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to get another copy of the Mythic, potentially. But if you don't have the new Mythic, it's perfectly fine to keep trying to go for him. But if you already have the Mythic, you might want to wait till Friday to open it to try to get Prisoner Luther. Otherwise, you're just going to get a second copy of the somewhat bad Mythic that came out last Friday. It's one of those Mythics you only ever need one copy of. Oh wait, that's everything, right? Yeah. Lester, there's a new game called Quickie. I love Hotel Story. Based on that name, I am pretty sure we are never playing it. Yeah, if you already have the new Mythic, I would definitely advise waiting to try to get Luther then. Just in case you do roll a Mythic, you might actually get a good one. Whereas if you roll a Mythic now, you're guaranteed going to get the a copy of one you already have. So yeah, it's best to wait then until at least Friday, reset time. Basically, once Bounty Hunter is in the game, you'll know it's time to open them. Because the current Mythic switches over once Bounty Hunter's in the game, this Friday. So once the Bounty Hunter event is in, the old Mythic is out. Well, now that it's out the drop table, you know, it's not the exclusive thing anymore. It's still in it, it's just, you know, everything is in it. I never play the games you suggest, because every single game you suggest sounds so sketchy. Maybe not all of them. But like 90% of them. Though there is one game that's coming up somewhat soonish. that I do want to play. Well, technically 2. One of them already came out a couple days ago, Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4. Still haven't looked up any spoilers or anything for it yet, but I do want to get around to that sometime soon. And the other one is Slay the Spire 2. I actually got my friend into Slay the Spire 1 recently to prep him for when Slay the Spire 2 comes out. Yeah, we should honestly go stream Slay the Spire 1 again sometime before 2. Just to get reacquainted with the game a little bit. Thanks for one stream. Like, that's still honestly in probably like my top 10 favorite games ever. Slay the Spire. Oddly enough, I only have about 250 hours in it. But it was a really good 250 hours. Main reason I only have that much is I basically did everything you could possibly do by that point. As far as like completionist content. We did every difficulty on every character, max difficulty, as well as all achievements. So there wasn't really anything else to like target at that point, other than just playing the game over and over again. But every like thing that you could unlock and everything like that we ended up getting. Orc Massage is a legit game. I feel like the least sketchiest game Lester has mentioned recently was Schedule 21. Back when that game was really popular. Not sure if it still is. But that was like a game about making drugs. Which in theory should be against YouTube policy, but I think they still allowed people to do it. Because they have a pretty strong anti-drug policy that, or I say that they pretty much never enforce. I guess because it's like a video game and cartoonized, they don't really care about it too much. Even though it's literally a game about making and selling drugs. But it's like really fictionalized. It has everything here, right? Yeah, it's just a haste for the other one. It's hello, Ron! Welcome, welcome. Oh, if I actually got the weapon for once. What does this do again? Yeah, we'll go for it. Why not? Nice, it did exactly what I wanted. I was hoping it would give enough mana so that we could go cast Flower Dragon. And that's exactly what it did. Nice. We're almost deep enough. I think in another floor or two, we should probably switch over to, not using Flower Dragon. Or, you know, not using it in first slot, I mean. Obviously still using it. But I mean not using it in first slot. Because we're starting to get somewhat close to the point where it can die. Is how much damage already up to? 81. The biggest issue with this, though, is it has no score reduction at all. Like, it has score reflect, but obviously that doesn't help keep it alive, which is the main thing we want. Just to play this safe. Oh, never mind, we already got Flower Dragon. I was gonna say, I'm gonna go kill it with the Doom weapon. Never mind, don't even need it. Oh, so I keep checking this every single time due to absurd short-term memory. I mostly just want to make sure I don't misclick. So every single time, I'll check literally one room, do that room, then do the next room, do that room, and just check them one at a time. Even though you could easily remember like 3, 5, 10 in advance. It's like doing them one at a time just so I don't lose track. You know what? We'll do up to this, and then we'll go switch to Flower Dragon. Oh, well, we got the whole thing just right here as well. Well, the guild's been doing really good at scouting. What are we at? 15? Yeah, 15. Just making sure. 5 and 4. Was your comment above? You're making drugs in a video game? Wow. Well, that was that one game that Lester mentioned the other month. It's like a tycoon drug making game or something. Where you slowly build up a drug cartel empire. Yeah, just making sure. I think I checked that floor like 4 times. Oh, don't mana drain the guy I need. Yeah, that's one of the main reasons I've been using a mech a lot. These submerged gem things. We only have to deal with them for 2 more weeks, this week and next week. And then we pretty much never need to see them again. Alright, 3 and 2. Also, I think I'm going to finally switch the team now. I think it's time, just in case. We find like a skull spam team or something. The reason I switched it is so it wouldn't block on Brown. But now we need the extra tank ability just in case. Because they are getting close to the point where they can get a skull chain to kill it. And his team is very dysfunctional if Flower Dragon dies. Or Stellarix or whatever you have there. That's pretty much the whole premise of the team is just, you know, cast spam it immediately. And then win off of it. Wait, was that the wrong room? 3. What unlock was that? Does anyone recall what that was? Why did that look incorrect? Oops, that's not what I wanted. Tower of Doom. That looked like a buff scroll. 16. Lucky? Oh no, was that a lucky? Maybe it was. Could have sworn that was like one of the stat buffs. Yeah, one nice thing about Tower of Doom, it's a really short event. You can get, if your guild is already scouted, you could pretty much get it done on day 1. Like nearly. It also requires a really low amount of contribution across the entire guild. Especially if you take every single lucky. Was it luck scroll? Okay. At a quick glance, it looked like something else to me for some reason. Because I know occasionally sometimes it gets scouted wrong, which makes sense. It's hard to keep track of all of them sometimes. But yeah, one thing I always do, I already did it before this stream, I always give out gems to like the top 2 or 3 contributors for Tower of Doom. So I've already given the 2 top people, or at least the 2 first people, 25 gems each, you know, one of those little gem pack things. I gave Mustaine and X-Corpio earlier. But yeah, I always do that because they have to spend a little bit extra gems to go do it. So if every single person in the guild did that, they would technically profit gems. I'm pretty sure every single person in the guild doesn't do that. But I like to contribute some gems to them to help them out. Since they are spending extra gems to scout it. It's pretty much what I almost exclusively use the little gift thingies for these days. Is to help out whoever contributes to the Tower of Doom scouting. It's our last battle if we don't get a Valhawk here, or Valraven. Final battle, well, at least for now. Alright, let's go hand out a code. And then I guess we'll do all the openings and go do the pet code soon. Because I'm gonna go upgrade Blackhawk next, I think. And once we fully max it, we'll go hand up pet code. Alright, Tower of Doom is completed for now. Next order of business. Campaign, almost done. Dailies, already done earlier, did them earlier. Well, PvP will get done when we go head over there. Pet Rescue, don't need it. Tower of Doom, we literally just did it. Games, do need to go do dungeon. Let me go hand out a code first, and then we'll go do dungeon real quick. Once again, this calculator. Why do I keep bringing up calculator on my notepad? They're like right next to each other, and I keep confusing them because they have a similar icon. I know they look nothing alike, but they're both a rectangle. So in my eyes, it's like, ooh, they're the same. Because they're both a rectangle, so it's like, oh yeah, they're the exact same icon. Because one's a rectangle notepad and the other is a rectangle calculator. No! We got bottom 3. Oh, it's bottom 3 instead of top 3. Boo, we got gypped. Alright, let me go clear out this and then we'll go do Blackhawk to level 30. Then we'll hand out the special pet code for the month. Which is the Sharky pet, if you guys didn't get it. The 2019 Sharky pet. I feel like we've handed this one out a lot. I wish I would stop giving it to us so we could hand out other pets. But if you still somehow don't have the Sharky pet, yeah, we have that. Or if you don't have it maxed yet, it'll be another copy towards it. At this point, I think I have like... You know how many codes we've handed out of it at this point? I think I have 40-something Spear Sharkies. That is how many codes we've handed out of it. Though I did end up pet orbing it, so all those were basically how many we handed out. I think it was because one month we ended up handing out 30. Because for whatever reason, when they started doing the pet codes, they did like 30 a month for some reason. Instead of just 1. I do wish they would do like 2 or 3 though. 1 still feels like so little. But yeah, Isabel, have you been feeling better and everything? Hope everything's been fine. Or getting better. Alright, dungeon completed. Okay, Blackhawk time. You're feeling almost back to normal? Nice. Love to hear it. Yeah, sometime soon you'll need to show me all the changes with Palia. Because I would love to see you kind of introduce us to the new area. Because I know they added a new area and everything like that, and I haven't seen anything with it at all. Like, absolutely nothing at all. Alright, what am I doing here? Oh yeah, Blackhawk upgrading time. Alright, let's go do it. The final 5. I did get quite a few less tokens than I thought last weekend, though. I felt like we farmed it quite heavily. But apparently not enough. Because we still seem rather short on it. Alright, the only problem is all these ultra rares are so bad. Let's go upgrade however many we can for now. There's just never a situation where you're running any of these, though. Like, at all. Like, at all. Alright, let me go upgrade this guy. Not with those, with these. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's going to be really close as far as how many we have. Actually, will we even have enough? Now that I'm looking at it. Do we even have enough to do 5? There's 1. Let me do 1 to legendaries. If we were to upgrade any one legendary here, it is probably Captain McCall. I don't know, buy out Blackheart if we... I don't know, we never need to do Pure Faction for it again, though. Like, if we still had to do Pure Faction, it probably would. But out of any of these that we would realistically actually use in the team in the current state of game, McCall for 50% Rogue Start is the most likely. So let's go get him up. Which means we need a double, what is this then? A double Epic? No, a double Legend. Oh, he's a little pricey for the upgrade. And then we could throw down the Nisha. Hello, Timmy! Welcome, welcome! Yeah, it's always been really luck-based if you can end up getting through dungeon. Like, there's no skill to it. It's literally just pure RNG. Alright. Let me go do one of the epics, because we have quite a bit of that token. I wanted to do one of the empowers in this location. We have Fistmate, Axe Blubber, and wasn't there a second one? Oh no, it was just him. Oh, let me just do. Oh no, and Scurvy Sea Dog. This one is blue to red, and this one is green to blue. I feel like you Scurvy Sea Dog more. They're both basically useless other than for their initial empower. I don't know, do I have enough to do both? If I have enough to do both, that would be the angle. I believe we're slightly short from doing both, though. I don't want to use 3 ultra rares for the first level. That is an option. But yeah, let me see if I have enough to scrap together both. I think we do. Just have to be careful because I have to keep 3 Aranias and I can't use it. No, yeah, I'm not going to be able to. Is I got to make sure I keep 3 of these. Doesn't matter if we do for the other one, though. So we can do 2 of these. Then do 3 of the other one, because that going down to 1 is fine. Whereas we don't want this to drop in case we do need a durability team. Alright, so how many were we up to now? What's the damage? We need 2 more. I think we could do 1 more ultra rare. Ideally, I want to do 2 more ultra rares here. Would have been the ideal upgrade here. So we did all the mythics. All the ultra rares here are pretty useless, so we can just go for whatever. Go for Mimic, why not? Mimic's fun. So we go for the triple Yasmin. Into the double triple Orpheus. Which leaves us with exactly 3 cleanse. Which means the only thing we can go for now is, what, double orbing a legend? What does that leave us with? Oh no. How do we scrap together 1 more? Quick, we need 1 more! Quick, another mythic, come out for Blackhawk right now. Go, go, go! Am I gonna have to use a silver and gold medal on a legend? To some degree, that feels like a waste, but to some degree, we're going to need to do that eventually anyways. So for a permanent +1 attack bonus, it doesn't seem that bad. And it really comes down to, do you want to put it on Bile Blackheart, or do you want to put it on Kraken? Like, this guy we're pretty much never using, even a pure rogue team. Skyla, it's not bad, but you're likely within the context of the kingdom not really using that mechanic. More explore 12 time? I don't mind throwing a little bit of the, silver and gold. It might seem like a waste using on a legend, but at some point we're going to need to anyways. So doing it now isn't that big a deal. I'll do it on Kraken just in case Kraken ever becomes more viable again. Kraken's honestly not that bad. Because look at how many orbs we already have. It's not that big a deal. Alright, it's time. Oh wait, I could just use the 1 Nisha here. I only need to use the silver. Wait, this is perfect. I forgot, because I could just Nisha the other one. I got a billion Nishas. Which is way better to save the thing. Because that just saves this double Anu right there. Which is still great. Alright, perfect. There we go. That is permanent +1 attack. We had to really scrap it together. But we got there. There it is. Alright, let's go hand out the pet code. And it's even thematic. It's a shark. We just upgraded Blackhawk. I guess that would somewhat fit Merlantis a little bit more, but it still kind of fits Blackhawk as well. There you guys go. Here's the monthly pet code. Unfortunately, it's one we've handed out like a billion times, but there should be a Sharky in there. For any of you that don't have it or need more copies to go and max it. But there we go. And what that does for us is a permanent +1 attack bonus now. Which I probably should have showed beforehand. But now every single thing we have has 1 higher attack in all game modes other than Arena. Which obviously is not a lot, but you know, it adds up. Could be the difference in a guild war or any other battle where we're going a little bit more skull-oriented. Because if you're taking like 3 skulls across the course of a battle, or let's say 5 skulls, it's like 5 extra damage. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it could be the difference between getting a kill or not sometimes. Obviously, the collective of all the stats is mostly what does it. Individual ones don't do too much, other than magic. Which soon we'll get it. Actually, speaking of magic, let me go do the other thing too. Let me go get the other thing we can go open this stream. Still need to go do PvP dailies. We'll do that in a moment. But for now, what I want to go do is open our one chest that we have here. And see if we can get a purple. No! No purple. In the last 7, we've gotten 1 purple. So we're not too dry yet. Alright. Let me go double check everything that isn't PvP, and then we'll probably go do PvP then. Underspire. Yeah, I might go through Underspire real quick. I'm definitely not doing a full Underspire this week. I think I'm just doing a floor 4 completion for the double silver. The team isn't horrible, but it's not particularly quick at the higher range. So I'm probably just doing a floor 4 completion here. So we're just going to throw 50 gems a day and do the double silver. When's the last time we played Arena? Oh gosh, it's been a while. Like at least a year, if not longer. Arena has been such dead content for so long. The only thing that made it like somewhat relevant when they updated it in the past is it was once at one point actually the highest trophy rate in the game. But ever since the changes where they added 2 trophy and 3 trophy battles for like Explorer and PvP and stuff like that, particularly Explorer, it was no longer relevant to ever touch Arena. As you started getting more than 1 trophy per battle when doing a high Explore. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Explore 12 like 3 trophies a battle or something? Because I normally don't trophy farm, but I'm pretty sure Explore 12 is 3 trophies a battle. Whereas back in the day, you still only be 1, but then they updated pretty much everything to be more trophies. And ever since they did that, Arena has been like the deadest of dead content. Because at least I had the one benefit before of being the highest trophy rate in the game. But now it's not the highest anything in the game. The only time you would ever do it is somewhat in early game when you have like 0 souls. As super early game before having like anything at all. It's a decent way of getting souls like really early on. Especially if you can get a perfect run every time. But beyond that, yeah, there's no rewards whatsoever. You use it for like the first few weeks for souls maybe. Like up until the first Vault event weekend. And of making a new account. And that's basically it now. There's like the full list of what you use it for. It is very, very dated. They came in within the first year of the game. And while it's been updated a couple times, the reward for it has never really been that enticing. Especially as every other area keeps getting power corrupt with more loot. Whereas that thing hasn't been updated in a good, like, 7 years as far as the drop table for it. Trying to find a good convert here. I'm just gonna do this first and then we can get a follow-up convert. Gives them a lot of brown, but doesn't really matter. Yeah, there's gonna be one big issue of why I don't want to go particularly deep. There's nothing good in this kingdom that hits all enemies. You kind of have to poke them down little by little. But yeah, we definitely got to do more Explore 12. I basically have 0 medals right now. I have enough to equip 4 battles, and that is it. That and a few Spear Nishas for if we want to upgrade Legends. There's one really easy way to upgrade Legends now is we use a bronze medal on it, we use a silver medal on it, and then we use a Nisha for the final one, so that we don't waste a gold medal. Yeah, that's going to be how we upgrade Legends a lot going forward. Bronze medal, silver medal, and then use a Nisha. As I have a lot of Spear Nishas right now. I have 6 Spear Nishas, whereas basically every other token I have is at 0. And by 6 Spear, I mean, you know, enough so we still have 3 left over in case we need a 12 magic team. Which isn't ran that often, but sometimes you do run it. Normally if you have a 50% mana start. Which means if we don't need cleanse, we'd actually be running it for next Guild War. Because of course you have 50% mana start for Dwarf, like this guy. King Highforge. Actually, the team we're running now, you could actually literally run for next Guild War. You'd want to make some adjustments to make it more Guild War-like though. But the exact team we're running now is actually next Guild War viable. You shouldn't be running this team for next Guild War ideally, there's better ways to run it. But this exact team 1-to-1 could technically be ran for next Guild War. The main adjustments you would want to make is a better weapon. We're forced to have to use a Keysail weapon here for this mode. Or for Guild Wars, you're allowed to use any weapon. But otherwise, this basically is a Guild War team. The other thing is you might want to replace out one of your utility troops for more damage. Because unless you're running Ruby weapon or something as your damage source here, this team is really lackluster on damage. Because you shouldn't be depending on King Highforge as all your damage. Ideally. You technically could, but your battle will take forever and a half. Also, in these really early fights, it would actually be slightly easier or better to run War and Peace because it does hit all enemies here. I don't think I'm going to bother switching, though. Because I think War and Peace stops one-shotting after Zone 1. I don't even think it has enough damage to one-shot Zone 2. So by the time we switch the team in and switch it back, it's not even going to be worth the time, probably. Which is always funny with some game modes. Where some game modes last such a short duration that it's honestly not even worth adjusting your team. Because by the time you do, the time that it would take to adjust the team would not justify the amount of time saved. Because you would have to switch it right back once we get to Zone 2. There we go. Speaking of which, Zone 2 unlocked. Oh, that means we got a perfect, floor 1. Because I bought exactly enough. Because I'm only buying 50 gems per day. So we got a perfect floor 1. Nice. There we go. Perfect floor 1. Unlocked. There we go. Well, so here's another code, by the way. I did it again. I clicked on calculator. I can't distinguish two rectangles from each other. It's like the third time this stream. I know on your guys' end you can't see it. That is the third time this stream. I clicked on calculator when I tried clicking on notepad. There we go. Alright, next order of business. I think the only thing left is PvP now. Pretty sure. I do one last sweep. Underspare, check. We literally just did it. Dungeon, check. Unfortunately, it's bottom 3, not top 3. Anything else worth mentioning here? No. Daily, check, or will be once we go do PvP. Campaign, check once we go do a few more battles. Tower of Doom, we literally just ran it all at the beginning of the stream, and the guild's almost already done. By Wednesday, we'll probably be completely done, both us and the guild. Alright, yeah, PvP's the only thing left. Let's go do it. Oh, you know what I want to go do right now as well? Let's go opening up all our burning chests. Let's see if I can get a few more real quick, though. If I go to, what am I looking for here? If I go to... Which one is it under? PvP season. Can I get any burning marks over here? I can. Oh, it's not enough, though. I was hoping I could get enough for a 10 opening. Oh, we'll do 9 one by one. The thing we're still looking for, oddly enough, I still do not have last season's Immortal. I somehow still don't have Immortal Gemini. I got the Dragon. I even showed it for one of the team thingies. It was mentioning that you could replace it with the Orc or any other brown true damage one. Because the Orc is really easy to get this season. This one's a little bit harder, but he is a little bit better than the Orc. But yeah, I still have gotten the entire last season and this season. I have not gotten a single copy of Immortal Gemini. Of course, it's not really what we want to see. What we really want to see is Immortal Ossifer or Immortal Fernex. Are probably the biggest two. Like both of these two. I'd say are the most unique and powerful ones to fully max out. But they've never been really targetable. It honestly would be like the only time I would run this chess. Is if every option here said Immortal Ossifer, Immortal Fernex, and a third one that isn't awful. In that circumstance, yeah, we would maybe run it. As well as if the target Immortal for the season is like not half bad, but so far they've all been average. Alright, 20 gold marks, that's pretty average. Immortal Fernex, only 10 copies, but it's a really good one. Silver marks, one of the worst drops, if not the worst drop you can even get. Silver Icon, also the worst drop you could possibly get. Nope, the literal worst drop, Bronze Icon. Okay, anything else? Other than the 10 Immortal Fernex, these are horrible rolls. Gold mark, pretty meh. Gold icon, pretty meh, even though it's the gold one. Okay, at least we 50 rolled one of them. That's not a particularly good one. And 20 roll for the current season, which is not that relevant at all because we're going to have like a billion of them. Still no Immortal Gemini. Our luck on that is absurdly bad. We gone all of last season and so far into this season without getting her. Do we bother throwing any of those down? I guess we don't really need to bother at the moment. Alright, let's go get our buff and go clear through what we need to go do. So we gotta go do Glacial Peaks and then just do enough to go get our Valhawks. So let me go get the Valhawks first. Then we'll go do Glacial Peaks real quick. The overall, this Guild War, or this Gems of War week is pretty much just a prep for next week's Guild War. Not that much going on. There's Tower of Doom and Bounty Hunter this weekend. Both relatively quick events. Because as long as your guild is scouted, Tower of Doom is the quickest weekly in the game. And Bounty Hunter is the quickest weekend event as well. If you just do the free battles, it takes like 10 minutes. If you do full completion, it takes like 30 minutes. Assuming you're using the quick kill team. It costs slightly more gems doing it that way, but gosh is it quick. Compared to running the 4 team. Still not too bad running the 4 team though. But it takes slightly over like double the time. But you're also getting like, what, 25% more points per battle or something? Somewhere around there. Like it's around 20% more points per battle. But the battles take almost like twice as long to win. Because instead of just clicking a Flower Dragon or Stellarix to auto-win, you gotta actually use the bounty troops to kill it. Like Tukaraki, Corpse Mirror, stuff like that. If anyone still has any other questions or anything else you want me to go over, let me know. And let me find out another normal code too. I'll find out one more in a little bit too. Unfortunately, the pet code is probably extinguished by now though. And of course, next week for Guild War, we will be streaming every Guild War day as we normally do. And unlike some Guild Wars in the past, I do feel like we're going to need to change the team up a little bit more compared to the last seasons. Mostly because Dwarf is probably the weakest restriction we've had so far. As no one's really going to be trying to stun you, because, you know, pretty much all Dwarves have immune to stun. So unless they're like curse stunning or something. So it's very unlikely you're going to have to... Like, it's very unlikely you're going to get value from those traits that they have. Because everyone knows basically the entire team is going to be immune to it. So no one's going to be running like a stun team, for example. Which is something that the dwarves normally benefit from. Is being able to counter stun. But pretty much no one's going to be setting anything like that. Is the trick to getting more gold marks? No. The only trick is being Dark Alliance. Join us. But the only trick for getting more gold marks is being Dark Alliance. And then just do the daily whenever it comes up. It's technically not a daily. You have to do it like 5 times a week. Which is kind of like a daily. It's a 5 times a weekly. Yeah, that's true. Don't you get more per day if you have really high VP? You'd have to really rush high to get that, though. I don't really feel like that's worth it for how little you would get. But it does add up over the course of the season. Like if you rushed really high rating within the first weeks. Like if you get like 200,000 plus within the first 2 weeks. Because, yeah, didn't they make the amount of gold marks you get per day based on that? I forget, where do you actually see that in-game? Because I almost forgot about that mechanic. Mostly because I generally don't bother rushing PvP points. Alright, that's a very dangerous amount of extra turn gems on the board. So much so I should probably start removing them just so he doesn't get them. Is this not enough damage to kill because it's not true damage? You don't count as a boss, right? Just making sure. I wish they did. That'd make them so much easier to kill. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Yeah. The first 10 are silver per day, and then you start getting gold per day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So basically to start getting gold marks, you would have to get 280,000 PvP points within the first week or two. And then you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or something. Somewhere's around there. But yeah, you basically have to rush like 100,000 PvP points or more within the first few weeks. And then you can start getting gold marks per day. I really don't feel like that is worth it though. Because to get the maximum amount of gold marks, which is like 8, I think, or 9 or 10, whatever it is, when you get Great General, you'd basically have to run like 250,000 for 3 weeks straight. Even then, you'd still be slightly short. Like, you'd really have to go all out with it. I don't really feel like that's worth it for how few gold marks you would get. Well, I say few. I don't know. I guess it adds up. Like, let's say you got high enough to get 5 gold marks per day, which is not all the way that high. That's like 200,000 within the first 2 weeks or so. And then you end up doing that, let's say, for, how many days would that be? That would be 63 days. What does that come out to? This time I actually do need to click on calculator. There we go. 63 times 5. Well, I could have done that in my head. But, yeah, that'd be 315 extra gold marks. So if you rushed like 200-something thousand for the first 2 weeks, you would end up getting 3 deed books and gold marks as extra compensation if you did that. So if you put it that way, it's not that bad. It's a lot of PvP, though, to rush down. But it's an option. But you'd have to do about 200,000 PvP points for the first 2 weeks. And then by the end of the season, you would have earned 3 extra deed books. It's definitely something to consider if you really like doing PvP. But it's not that big of a reward that you're really missing out if you don't do that. I was hoping I would get alignment there. Gosh, I love that 5 hit. Because it pretty much always cleans up a team so nicely. Alright, there we go. Only thing left now is we need to go get our Valhawks. I think that's everything then. You know what, just to get our silver marks, let's go do it in green. Already have a team set up and everything. Let's do 5 battles here to go get our silver marks. And then we'll probably call it there. That's every daily, that's every relevant weekly. And we got our Blackhawk upgraded. For our permanent +1 attack that we haven't utilized at all. Obviously, generally, you won't really be utilizing something like that. Like a +1 HP, a +1 armor, a +1 attack. Like, you know, it helps over time, but it's a pretty small amount of increase. The next time we get or pretty much the last time, until they add more kingdoms, that we really get a big buff from it is the +2 magic. From whenever we finally get Blighted Lands max. It's the last really big stat that we're missing on the account for what I would consider pretty much true max. Even though we might have a few less stats here and there to some people. But I would consider us back at true max if we ever get Blighted Lands max. For that final +2 magic bonus. As well as level 2000 hero so that we can get the 1 extra magic for hero. It only applies to hero for that rather than everyone. Whereas the kingdom applies to everyone. But no, 1 magic on hero is still kind of useful. Obviously if you're using a weapon that's relevant for it, like Ruby weapon or anything like that. With Wand of Stars, it obviously makes no difference though. But there are a good handful of weapons where 1 magic could definitely be the difference of winning and not winning. Hey, Immortal Fernax. We only got 10 copies of him, which is like, you know, 1 copy basically because you get them in increments of 10. But I really want to get him further upgraded. Him and Immortal Ossifer are the 2 absurdly good ones. Wait, I didn't even think about that. Wait. Does anyone know what his ability is when fully maxed? I didn't think about that just now. But doesn't he have the original Great Maul 15% Devour once he's fully maxed? Because he has a 10% chance to devour the first enemy. But that probably goes to 15% when he's maxed. Which is the exact trait Great Maul used to have back in the day. Except without the bug that allowed you to devour the entire team at once. Alright, we did that. We're working on that. Working on that. The only other thing I want to make sure we have done is the campaign thingy. And we do! Let's go claim the stats. Unfortunately, not magic. I think it's like HP or armor. But hey, 5 extra HP or armor for Guild War is definitely helpful. All the people who end up buying the bigger pass have that pay-to-win +2 magic for next Guild War, though. Well, they didn't add pay-to-win necessarily directly to Guild War. You can actually buy 2 extra magic if you had... oh, wait, let me go claim it here. But if you had the bigger pass, you would have the +2 magic for Guild War next week. Oh, wait, never mind. Never mind. No, never mind. That only applies to this week. Never mind. Everyone's going to have the +2 magic next week. Never mind, never mind. Oh, it actually works out perfectly then. Hey, no pay to win for next Guild War. Never mind, never mind. Because, yeah, everyone will be able to go get the magic next week. Extra magic would only apply to this week. Because next week you end up earning this. Because I was looking at it wrong because we didn't claim the thingy yet. Because this week we're at week 9, and then the next week, of course, is the final week. Which means, never mind. Yeah, everyone will have access to 2 magic. Okay, never mind. False alarm, false alarm. No pay to win this time. At least not in that regard. But yeah, we'll have that extra nice 2 magic. The only problem is, so will everyone. But of course, the momentum's a little bit better on first turn. So you do gain more of a benefit from the +2 magic than your enemy does from having the +2 magic. But anyways, guys, any other questions? Otherwise, I think we'll call it there for now. We will be back at this point, probably next week's Monday at this rate. Because, yeah, not much else is happening this week. We have Bounty Hunter, but, you know, that's pretty quick. It just gets done automatically. We showed Bounty Hunter teams in the weekly video as well. It doesn't have copy-paste because obviously the troop isn't out until Friday. But the 2 teams for Bounty Hunter are already there. The 2 core ones, the quick kill one and the max score one with Takaraki and everything. Because that's pretty much all you ever need. Because everything's low rarity. It's not like there's a low rarity variant. And if you don't have Flower Dragon or Stellarix, you just put whatever your best damage source is there. Or even Hero if you want to gain Class XP for it. It might be a little bit slower with Hero. But hey, free Class XP. You could run like Ruby Weapon or Black Manacle or Dawnbringer or something else. It's a little bit slower than obviously like Stellarix or Flower Dragon. But you get Class XP from it. And you do get 2 per battle there. Anyways, guys, we're up at here. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone. And thanks for watching.